shop workers are facing a barrage of abuse amid a rise in retail crime, with calls on the government to address the crisis. A new survey by the British Retail Consortium found staff are battling a 50% increase in violence and abuse.
The number of shoplifting incidents doubled to 45,000 each day. It has forced retailers to invest heavily in crime prevention, with the total cost of crime to retailers at £3.3 billion.
Croydon shop owner Ben Selvaratnam is one of those bearing the brunt. He says his business Freshfields Market is often targeted by aggressive thieves. And he joins us alongside the national retail lead of the Association of Police and Crime Commissioners, Katie Bourne. Let's start with you, Mr. Selvaratnam. What's it like on a daily basis running your store, and how have things changed in the last couple of years? Have things got worse for you in terms of shoplifting, but also violent shoplifting in your store?
Yeah, so we found a big marked increase in shoplifting and incidences and violence in 2023. When we first opened the store 7-8 years ago, we'd have 3 to 5 incidences a week. We'll now find that many per day, whether it's abuse, violence, or incidents of shoplifting. It's actually very disheartening sometimes coming into work. We're a small family business. We don't have a big head office or chain to kind of absorb the costs. So we have to challenge shoplifters and try to retrieve our stolen goods just so that we can, survive. And sometimes it can get very upsetting. We've had 3 members of staff hand in notices last year and leave. So it can very much be a stressful situation to be in.
And do you see this as being sort of desperate individuals under pressure with the cost of living, or is this repeat offenders, gangs who are organised in what they're doing?
Yeah, so we definitely see a mix of organised criminality who are stealing to order, who'll come in. One will distract the cashiers and someone will distract the shop floor staff while another person just cleans the shelf out. High value items, whether it's alcohol or coffee or baby formula. And then we have people with substance issues who are repeat offenders, and they'll come regularly. And again, they will clean the shelves as well. And we also have almost regulars who we've known for years who have clearly been affected by the cost of living crisis, and they'll steal things generally for themselves, not for resale value, whether it's a tin of fish or a tin of meat.
And what are you able to do? Sorry to interrupt. What are you able to do with regards to sort of taking action? Can you call the police? Do they come? What's their involvement?
I mean, I think the police's own figures, where they say that they're not unable to attend 70% of incidences like this. So we found that to be about correct. And in a live situation, when we've got someone being violent or a shoplifting incident, as we run small teams, we can't afford to have someone on the phone for 30 minutes, 40 minutes trying to arrange a police presence or a call. So we generally try to deal with things ourselves.
OK, well, let's pick that up then with Katie Bourne, the National Retail Leader, the Association of Police and Crime Commissioners. Obviously, a big job here to try to tackle this. More needs to be done, doesn't it, to help protect those retail staff, the managers who are facing this on a daily basis and not getting the support from the police that they really need, it seems.
It's pretty shocking that it's come to this state, and certainly police chiefs nationally have now launched their Retail Crime Action Plan, which shows clear lines of how they're going to tackle this, and they're starting to take it more seriously. My colleagues, police and crime commissioners up and down the country, are making this a key priority in their plans. So the Chief Constable, when they deliver policing locally, has to have due regard to those priorities. But, there's clearly more needs to be done. And I've been with Ben this morning hearing some of the stories. It is really shocking to think that people are getting attacked and abused when they go to work. Everybody deserves to be safe, but particularly when you're in your place of work.
Is it about the law, or is it about coordination between areas, or is it fundamentally that there aren't enough police officers to be able to respond?
I think it's a combination. I very much support a standalone offence for abuse and assault against shop workers, because I think that sends a huge message to shop workers up and down the country that we actually care. but also it allows the police to measure how many assaults actually happen in a retail environment. At the moment, they measure assaults, but they don't record the place in which it happened. So from my point of view as a police and crime commissioner, I would then be able to tell very quickly how many of these assaults were happening in retail environments across my county, and then I can put the resourcing there to tackle it more effectively. But I think also the police, you know, they've got a lot of calls on their time. We all get that. You know, we've got terrible rapes against men and women across the country. We've got child sexual exploitation, counter-terrorism issues. There are a lot of calls on their time. But these crimes are happening in everyday lives, and this is what you and I see when we go shopping. And that's why you can't overlook these crimes. They may be low value, but they're very high impact.
Yeah, and also the high impact because there's an increased amount of violence used, isn't there, towards the members of staff, which is really worrying. And at the moment, it does seem that, you know, shoplifters are just being given a free rein to go and help themselves to what they want, and the onus is very much on the shopkeepers to have to protect themselves and do what they can.
Yes, we've certainly seen a worrying increase in violence, particularly since COVID in the last 3 to 4 years. So when people come in, they feel more emboldened. I mean, they are brazen. And you heard what Ben said about prolific shoplifters, individuals who come in time and time and time again because they know they'll get away with it. So I think policing now is sending a strong message out to these individuals and the organised crime gangs that are operating, that actually policing is not going to turn a blind eye. This is a high impact crime. It affects all of us, and the Retail Crime Action Plan sets out a real clear plan of action on how they're going to do that.
Thank you very much indeed. Katie Bourne, Police and Crime Commissioner in Sussex, National Lead for the Police Crime Commissioners, and also Ben Selvaratnam. We wish you well and hope you get the support you need to keep running your business properly without these kind of costs and pressures. It's not fair. Thank you for joining us, both of you.